Hey, what's up? This is Paul McCoy from 12 Stones, and you're watching CMS TV.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on your ClassicMetalShow.com. Well, there's about 30 seconds worth of drumming. Checking out Chris drumming. Cool. Yeah.
Yep, that's the part that I would cut out of the song.
Cool.
All right, we get it. You can play drums.
That's Carl Kennedy there from his release Headbanger, featuring Mark Tornillo on lead vocal there with My Life, My Way. Thought you were probably thought you were listening to a new Accept song.
Yeah, that sounded good.
Yeah, it was real good. So I want to thank Carl Kennedy for being a part of the Classic Metal Show tonight. Go pick up a CD. You know, these guys put out their solo stuff, and, you know, they don't have any big record deal or anything. Sure. They just do it on their own and do it for the love of it. And you can pick that up. It's just called Headbanger, and it's featured, even though he's much maligned in the Classic Metal Show chat room tonight, Chris Caffrey.
Yeah, boy, he's taking a beating. Huh?
Yeah, and Mark Tornillo and just a few other people who are involved with this, but it's good stuff. So thanks to Carl for being part of the show.
And there's some Dio track on there too, isn't there?
Yeah, a Dio track, unfinished Dio track, or, you know, so it's some Dio.
Yeah, some Dio in there.
As our good friend Jeffrey C. would say.
That's right.
So go pick that up. I think you'll appreciate that.
Yeah, sounded good to me.
Yeah.
The songs you played tonight, those two, and then the one that you opened the show with sounded good too.
Yeah, I like that these guys who do, you know, who have a main band will also do something outside, and, you know, it'll rock just as hard, if not better, sometimes than their main project.
Look at Phil Ooze.
What is he doing now?
CD length 50 minutes, drum fills length 46 minutes.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, let's see here. Thought I'd get into something here. Eddie Trunk says Steel Panther is a parody.
Yeah, this is really funny. If you can't tell when you listen to it, but Satchel pretty much made it clear that it was him that called.
Yeah.
You know, he called in and he asked what Eddie thinks of Steel Panther, and Eddie just smashed him.
Right.
He does not like Steel Panther.
Yeah, I know he doesn't.
But you play it and we'll talk about it as he goes. But this is, me and you have a different opinion of Eddie. And,
what is our differing opinion?
You don't like him, and I do.
Now, why do you say I don't like Eddie?
Because he annoyed you. I'll put it that way.
Well, I don't dislike Eddie.
But you were definitely annoyed by Eddie Trunk.
Well, let me just put it this way. The guy, we've had him on the show a couple of times.
Right.
And I've talked to him in person on a couple of occasions.
Mm-hmm.
And he is like so disinterested in anything that you have to say.
Right.
You know, the last time that I talked to Eddie or was with Eddie per se, I was with him and I'm standing there and he comes over to me and he starts asking me, he goes, this was before he started doing his podcast thing.
Right.
And he was asking me my opinion on podcasting. You know, he was just saying, well, how do you guys do that? And how does it work? And where do you put it? And, you know, he was asking me all kinds of questions.
Right.
And so I'm standing there talking to him in a serious manner.
Sure.
Telling him what I know about this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think Warren DeMartini came downstairs from the hotel.
Okay.
And I'm like in the middle of talking to him about this, and he just turns around and walks away. I mean, like, he didn't say, excuse me for a minute, or, you know, I'm going to jump over here for a second,
Right.
or nothing like that. He just basically turned around and walked away, you know, mid-sentence.
That's funny.
And then on top of that, it was either later that day or the following day, because I basically spent 3 days.
Right.
It was a 3-day deal. My nephew was with me, and you know, he's like, yeah, there's Eddie Trunk over there, and I go, yeah, you want to meet him? And he goes, yeah, sure, you know, I'd like to meet him, you know. So I walk over, and he's just like, hey, what's up, you know? And I go, hey, my nephew, he just wants to say hi, maybe grab a picture with you or something. Yeah, sure. So my nephew takes a picture with him, and turns around to thank him.
Yeah.
And he turns around and just walks away from him, just like, you know, I'm done with you now. You know, and that just to me is just, you know, again, it doesn't set well with me. I mean, if the guy needed to go somewhere, or he had to, you know, be excused or whatever, and just say, hey, I got to go, or, you know, excuse me for a minute, or that's different. But just to turn around and just walk away, like in the middle of a discussion, that just is like rude.
So you don't like him because he was rude?
I didn't
That's
say
fine. You don't have to like him.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I just thought that he was a little bit arrogant.
Right.
You know, it's like, dude, really?
Right.
You know, you asked me, okay? You know, you came to me and asked me. I didn't pursue you. Okay. And then when I did try to, you know, answer your question or whatever, you just turn around and walked away like, okay, I'm done with this.
Sure.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll backtrack to say
Classic metal show. I invented that too.
That's good. I'll backtrack to say that Eddie Trunk annoys you.
Yeah, he annoys me a little bit. Yes, that is true.
Where I get along perfectly fine with Eddie.
Yeah, but have you
but I've never really encountered him either.
Yeah, I hung out with him for 3 days. You know, typically 3 days, and on the third day, I totally ignored him.
Right.
And then he tried to get my attention. Because we were at the Vanandel Arena. Or no, we were at the Wings Stadium over in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yeah. Okay.
And I brought Don and the rest of the band to the venue.
Okay.
And you know, it was during this 3-day run. It was Sebastian Bach, Lita Ford, Dokken, and let's see if there was anybody else.
Skid Row.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Skid Row. It was Sebastian Bach solo.
Okay.
Lita Ford, Dokken, and I thought there was somebody else on the bill, but I can't.
Rat.
Yeah, it was Rat. You're right. It was Rat. And, you know, so I walked in, and Eddie was standing there hanging out by himself.
Okay.
And I walked in with the Dokken crew and basically just walked on by him. And then I was standing backstage, you know, when Dokken was going up on stage, and I was just kind of hanging there by myself, and he comes over and starts trying to make small talk with me.
Right.
It's like, hey man, how's it going? What, you know, how you enjoying your weekend? What's going on? You know? And then we went to catering and we had dinner.
Did you answer him, or did you just stand
Yeah,
there
no,
looking
I
at him?
talked to him. I talked to the guy,
Right.
you know, and then we went to have dinner. After Dokken's set, they had the catering, you know, and we went up there, and he sat directly across the table from me and basically didn't say a word. I mean, it's just weird. It's just a whole weird dynamic, you know.
Maybe you just intimidated.
I don't think that's it. I really don't, but I just don't get it. I mean, again, I don't dislike the guy. It's just I just don't get the whole thing.
Maybe it's just because you didn't start every sentence with Eddie, you're so great.
That maybe there's some truth to that. I don't know.
If you would start every sentence with Eddie, you're so great. So let me tell you what I do about my podcast.
Again, if Eddie wanted to come on the show tonight, I would say, yeah, come on, let's talk.
And then immediately you'd browbeat him.
No, of course not.
Within a minute, you'd be like, "So we were at this show, and you were a dick."
But that was the other thing. He was out there shilling his second book.
Yeah.
And so he had his little, his little postcard things.
Right, sure.
And handing them off to anybody and everybody who would take one,
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, he even did that. Oh, here's my new book. Here, grab my new book,
Right,
It's
sure.
like, all right, dude. I said, you can come on the CMS and talk about it if you, you get a hold of my agent and see if, set that up. It's like, dude, I'm talking to you face to face. Let's set that up right now.
Hey metalheads, tired of waiting for new episodes? Crave the real raw classic metal show? For just $4.99 a month, you can become a CMS VIP. You get every episode a full week early, completely uncensored, and 100% commercial free. It's the only place to interact directly with the show, plus you score the Fast Pass, so your song requests get bumped straight to the head of the line on every live version. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe right now at classicmetalshow.locals.com and become a CMS VIP today.
Yeah. Well,
Make a commitment right now. Let's not go through my agent.
well,
I mean, I get it. Everybody's got scheduling and everything. I get all that, but still, don't go. Well, yeah, just get a hold of my agent.
right. His agent.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Shut up.
Phillips.
What? There you go, winning. Nice.
Phil is funny.
That is. He's quick with them. Those memes.
That is funny.
That is
Holy
hysterical. Yeah, whatever.
shit. All right. So anyway, back to my point.
Yes.
Eddie, in this segment, with his explanation of why he doesn't like Steel Panther.
Yeah, well, I know that he put up kind of a fuss because Steel Panther was slated to open up for the current Priest tour,
Right.
the first leg of the Priest tour.
Right.
And he thought it was a joke to let them be the opener.
When you hear his answer, though, why he doesn't like Steel Panther, he comes off as absolutely clueless. Just 100% wrong.
Yeah, so what
not
else?
100%, but 99% wrong.
Yeah, so what else is new?
Oh, this is like, this is Jennifer-esque.
Yeah, so it's just basically not knowing your subject matter at all.
Yeah, just not knowing the audience at all.
Or just pontificating on something you really don't have a whole lot of information about.
Well, he's going to tell you that he does.
Okay.
He's going to tell you point blank that he has all the information.
All right.
This is a really interesting clip. I listened to it twice. The first time I was laughing because I just couldn't. I thought he had to be joking.
Okay.
And then I listened to it again, and he's dead serious with his points. And I'm like, dude, I can't believe that you could be on a TV show with two other comedians and be this clueless about what it is Steel Panther is.
All right.
It's completely clueless.
Okay. Well, let's take a listen to some of this.
All right.
Go with who's been waiting the longest, and that appears to be Tom in California, who's clocking in at just over half an hour. Thanks for waiting, Tom. What's going on, man?
So he's telling how long this guy was on hold?
Well, that is a hack radio.
He's clocking in at just over a half an hour. So basically he's saying this guy sat there on hold this long.
You know what he's really saying? My show is so ungodly popular that people wait.
Yeah, they wait
to speak to me.
Yeah. Who is he? Rush Limbaugh?
Well, they all do. A lot of shows do this.
Yeah,
now.
you know what? It's just so self-serving. It's just like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Take the freaking phone call. The guy could have been on hold for an hour. I mean, if somebody has that much time on their hands to wait on hold, big deal.
Yeah.
You apparently got nothing else going on in your life if you could sit on hold waiting to get onto a radio show.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Hey, how you doing, Eddie?
I'm great.
Hey, I had a question about Steel Panther. I have really kind of turned into kind of a big fan. I like their music.
Boy, I tell you what, if he doesn't know Satchel's voice, holy shit!
That's totally.
If you're not aware of that, Satchel, Russ Parrish, guitarist, formerly of Rob Halford's band.
Yeah, Fight.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. Because he did probably one of the better IDs for the classic metal show too.
Yeah, he did. I love
he
Satchel,
gets
man.
the whole "fuck you, pal" thing.
Yeah, well, it's because we relate. We're in that same mold as Steel Panther.
Sure, absolutely. Nothing serious. It's just a goof.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Right. Okay, here we go.
I've seen him a bunch of times in concert, and it's got. I got to tell you, it's one of the probably most fun concerts I've ever been to because they put on a great show. And I just wanted to see what you thought of them. I mean, do you see them as kind of a legit heavy metal type band? Do you see them as kind of like a parody? How do you see a band like Steel Panther?
Tom, before I answer your question, let me ask you real quick. How old are you?
44.
So you grew up with the '80s bands that they parody, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So for you think it's fun. In other words, you don't look at it as mocking them. You look at that as what? Celebrating them? What would you say?
Well, I mean, like legitimately, I think some of their songs, if you listen to, if you really, really love me, I mean, it's very tongue in cheek, but the violins in the background, the way the drums come in, it just sounds very nostalgic '80s to me. It sounds like new pop metal
right.
from the '80s,
right?
And you don't really kind of get that anymore,
right? Well, Tom, here's the deal. And thank you for your call, and I'll answer as quickly as best I can. And I got a ton of calls here, but I've talked about this a lot. I
got a ton of calls. Gotta get to them all.
Right. Because Tony from Kansas City is on 5 of those lines.
That's right.
The guys in Steel Panther are good guys, and they are good musicians. But for me, I'm not into it. I've tried many times, and to me, I think that a lot of their fans, clearly not Tom, because he grew up with the '80s bands, so he sees it a different way. But a lot of the fans of that band, I find, are guys and girls that in their 20s, in their mid and early 20s, who don't know that it's a spoof.
So he's claiming that people who are fans of Steel Panther don't realize that they're a parody band.
That's what he's saying.
So he's just saying that the people who are fans don't get the joke.
Yeah, he's saying that people that listen to Steel Panther take them as a legitimate band.
So, okay. So apparently he's never
been to a show. Yeah.
Anybody who's ever been to a show or even seen them on YouTube and their goofy hijinks and their antics, they know that they're goofing on the bombastic traits of the over the top 80s.
Yeah. But he thinks that there's an audience out there. The bulk of their audience is young kids, and those young kids think that they're legitimate.
Okay. I don't believe that for a minute.
I don't either.
All right.
And they're not really an old hard rock fan base. They're a fan base that actually either is into making fun of the 80s bands or doesn't get the connection and just thinks that they're funny and fun and didn't grow up with that scene and didn't see how those bands were destroyed in the 90s. And finally, some of them are starting to have a career again, and here's this band that's taking all the things they were destroyed for and making a living at. Listen.
All right. So this goes back to
I knew this was going to make you nuts.
Well, this goes back to that whole thing of Neely and Chris ruining the Brotherhood of Metal.
Right. Uh-huh.
That's the same thing.
It is.
Yeah. Steel Panther is ruining the opportunity for some of the bands who are basically coming back.
Apparently.
And making a living, be it the Wingers or the Poisons or
Extreme or Mr. Big
or whoever. So basically some of these bands who had a career in the 80s, who went away in the 90s and who are reemerging, Steel Panther is making it difficult for them to reemerge and actually make a legitimate living because they're highlighting the things that destroyed them in the first place.
That's his contention.
Okay. Eddie, you need to wake up. Seriously, come on now. He can't be that clueless.
Well, and the thing is that all of these bands that we're mentioning that are coming back, none of them, I don't care, you can name any band you want that is back now that had any level of success in the 80s. One of them, Faster Pussycat, goes with the crazy image. Every single other one of these bands now are kind of regular guy-ish.
Yeah, they're kind of toned down, stripped down jeans and T-shirt guys.
Yeah. None of them are, still spraying their hair up. Motley Crue, somewhat.
Or Pretty Boy Floyd.
If that's still an entity,
well, I mean, I know that they've gone through their different incarnations over the last decade.
I know they don't have Steve Summers in there anymore.
Yeah, I know, but during the time that they were out there playing, they still did the whole glammy look.
Yeah, and I think Motley does, don't they?
I don't think so.
Sort of.
I don't know. I think they still do. Like Nicky. I think Nicky still does. Yeah, he still kind of does the spiked up, sprayed up hair and big hair.
And Tommy paints his face and
but as far as the real glammy look, they don't do that.
No,
I mean if you thought about Steel Panther,
with the spandex and all
who they emulate the most, it's kind of a cross between Poison and early Motley Crue,
and some Def Leppard,
a little bit, but I would say mostly Poison / Crue.
Sure,
from the Theater of Pain era to the.
Before Girls.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
In that era to the Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of the cross between that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get it, and it's fun, and it is a parody, but I think that there is actually an audience out there that even though it was kind of cheesy and campy and goofy and whatever, there is still an audience out there that kind of misses that.
Sure.
Because it was a show. It was just sort of something that you don't see every day.
Right.
And you actually go see a performance with its visual, its audio, it's the big bombastic lights and fire and smoke and everything. And I think that if you ask me, Steel Panther kind of makes that thing cool.
Yeah. I mean, you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of Steel Panther. I like them. I mean, I certainly have enjoyed a few shows that I've seen, and I've enjoyed a couple of meet and greets a lot. But, that they are what they are. I certainly am not now saying, well, you know what, I'm not going to go see Rat anymore, or I'm not going to go see Dokken, or I'm not going to go see whatever, Junkyard or whoever, because Steel Panther makes them look foolish.
Yeah, they ruined it for me.
Yeah, I don't see that correlation at all.
Well, tell me, this. I can't believe it's already coming up on 2 years, but you and I were at that big Rock USA Fest in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, almost 2 summers ago already.
Which Dokken is playing again this year.
Yeah, and you and I watched the Rat set.
Mm-hmm.
How good was that Rat set?
They were damn good
that
night.
Was really a good set. I mean, I felt high being on the side of that stage because they were just so good.
Yeah, they smoked.
They were just spot on.
Right. And then Roth had to come and ruin it.
But you and I kept commenting on how great they sounded.
Sure.
It was just like, wow, this is Rat.
Yep.
And they brought it that day.
Yeah.
Then they ruined it at Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo just sucked.
Yeah, but that day they were spot on.
Yep.
And you and I were just like, wow, this is Rat.
Well, that was a good day for all the bands.
Yeah, it was.
Rat was great, but Dokken was really good,
and Jackal was really good. Yeah, and then the band Van Halen came on.
Then went and sat in the parking lot for half of the Van Halen set, and it was fantastic.
But Steel Panther And you know, of course, I've got a personal connection there because I've known Ralph since back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't ruin that for me.
No.
I go, you know, hey, good for them, you know, and the thing is for Steel Panther, the way that they've blown up in the last decade,
Mm-hmm.
I take my hat off to them and say, man, good for you for making a living out of this.
Sure. Well, I've seen Steel Panther 3 times now. I saw them at Rock on the Range, and they played a short set, and they were a lot of fun. They were definitely really fun. I saw them open for Priest, and they were fun, but that was a terrible show for them to be on. You know, that audience was too old for them. It really was. You know, and plus, most of those people that are there to see Priest, they didn't like hair metal anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, honestly, and I'm not saying, you know, that you can't like Judas Priest and Motley Crue at the same time, but the bulk of Judas Priest fans looked at hair metal as shit.
Yeah, they looked at it as poser rock.
Yeah, so it was kind of the wrong gig for them, but it was still, I mean, they still did their thing, and it was fun. And then when I saw them at the Roxino, 2 months ago or whatever it was, they kicked ass. They were fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
it was a great show.
And back when, you know, Nader was bringing London back around, you know, when he finally reformed London and was bringing him back around, I made a personal phone call to Ralph and said, hey, is there any way you can get London on the bill to open up for you guys at the Key Club?
Mm-hmm.
And he did. He did me that favor, and I flew out there for that.
Sure.
You know, so London opened up for Steel Panther at the Key Club at the time, and you know, I got to hang out with them, and you know, I remember I was back behind the Key Club there, and they have this old bus which they use for a dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
And Ralph was like back there, and I came walking up through the driveway there, and he looks, he goes, "What are you doing out here?" Because I didn't tell him I was coming, you know.
Right. Sure.
And he was sitting back on the steps back there, and I came walking up, and he just kind of like did a double take, and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing out here?" Yeah, it's like, "Oh, I'm going to come out. You know, I set this thing up. I'm going to be a part of it. You know."
Right. Sure.
So, yeah, I've seen Steel Panther like you 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. And it's just fun. It's just a fun, just, you know, it's not serious in any way, shape, or form. And it's just a goof. And I don't think people are going, man, this is a legitimate band.
Yeah. Well, I think you're going to hear from Eddie. You're going to hear why he has a distaste for Steel Panther.
Okay. All right.
Talented guys, they're good at what they do. They're nice guys. I know them all. For me, it's not. It's a joke. It's a parody.
He doesn't know Satchel real well.
Yeah, he didn't realize that was Satchel on the phone. Nice. It's funny. Like he would call himself Tom from California.
That's right.
So I can't get excited about it. Now, I've wanted to interview them, but I want to interview them because I think their story is fascinating about how...
Now, why can't you interview them, Eddie?
Hold on.
All right.
Let him make his point before you comment.
Okay. Well, again, I find it, again, not knowing what he's going to say, because obviously I did not listen to this.
Right.
But for him to say, I want to interview them, it's just like, dude, you could have had... I'm sure you, as Eddie Tron, could have had them on anytime you wanted.
Of course.
Anytime.
Rewind just a little bit because I want you to capture the full essence of what he's saying.
Okay. All right. I'm going to shut up here and play this.
All right.
Can't get excited about it. Now, I've wanted to interview them, but I want to interview them because I think their story is fascinating about how they became this. I don't want to interview them in their characters. You know what I'm saying? I want to interview them about the people they were. The singer...
The people that they were?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He doesn't want to interview Steel Panther. He wants to interview Russ
Parrish. He doesn't want to interview Michael Starr. He wants to interview Ralph Saines. And,
right.
All right. Okay.
He wants to have them on his show. They want to promote their product, but he wants to have them not do what they do as their product.
Yeah, he wants to interview them seriously.
Be like interviewing Stephen Piercy about Mickey Rat.
Right.
You know, who's going to care?
Well,
Why
it would be like, God rest his soul, the guy was Odorous Orungus.
Dave Brocky.
Yeah, Dave Brocky, interviewing him as Dave Brocky, not Odorous.
Yeah.
Looking for your daily dose of classic metal? Follow the Classic Metal Show on X at x.com/CMSRocks. Get the latest classic metal news, honest opinions, exclusive clips, and full episodes of the Classic Metal Show. Want to interact with the show? This is the place to do it. X is the one mainstream social media platform we actively focus on, making it the best way to connect directly with us. Follow now at x.com/CMSRocks and join the conversation.
But where does that benefit Steel Panther?
It doesn't.
You know, and this goes into Eddie's thing of always being about Eddie.
Yeah.
Is Steel Panther coming in and being Ralph and Russ doesn't help Steel Panther
Right.
sell all you can eat.
But you see, when Ralph has been on the show, when he's called in as himself because I already have a friendship with him.
Right.
So he can't come on here being Michael Starr.
Right.
Because it just doesn't work because he's already been on this show 2 or 3 times as himself.
Right.
So he can't call into the Classic Metal Show and say, this is Michael Starr of Steel Panther.
Right. Well, and if you listen to the Satchel interview that I did whenever I did it.
Yeah.
Remember when that was?
Yeah, it was
6 months ago,
last fall.
Yeah, whenever. If you ask him a serious question, he gives you a serious answer. So this premise that he can't do an interview with them is a little bit ridiculous.
Well, it's almost like Kiss Unmasked.
Yeah.
You know, you're not interviewing the demon, you're interviewing Gene Simmons.
Yeah, but somehow that's okay.
Yeah.
Because Kiss, acceptable.
Sure, apparently.
I mean, in Eddie's world.
Right.
Kiss is like one of the biggies, aren't they?
Yeah, I would think so. He's the one who, beat the drum for years about getting them inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, maybe that's because he can interview Ace and not Space Ace.
Right.
Maybe that's the point.
Sure. All right. Here we go.
All right.
Used to be in a Van Halen tribute band. Satchel, who's everybody knows is really Russ Parrish. He was in Fight with Rob Halford. They used to be called Metal School. Whether you like them or not, they've built something, and it's fascinating to me, and I love to talk to them about it as the real people. But they continually will be in character when you try to do interviews. They won't do interviews out of character, and I'm not going to. That's just not my thing. I'm not going to.
All right. Well, I guess I got one up on Eddie Trunk because I can get Michael Starr on here as Ralph Saines out of character.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Imagine that.
One up on Eddie.
Look at you.
Yeah. Fuck you, Eddie. I can get Ralph Saines on my show. You got to settle for Michael Starr.
Oh my God! How funny is this audio?
It makes no sense. It's like, dude, and I kind of get where he's coming from with the whole, I don't want the whole shticky, the slapstick comedy, goofy answers. I want serious answers.
Right.
Because, of course, if he goes, how'd you guys start this thing as Steel Panther? Well, me and Satchel, we were in a band together back in the 80s that failed. We were called Danger Kitty. And, he doesn't want that.
Well, I don't know. I just listened to this. And I was like, good Lord, he is totally missing the boat here.
Yeah. He's not getting the joke.
Yeah, or he's trying not to get the joke. I think he gets the joke. I think he doesn't like the joke.
I agree with that. I think he finds it distasteful and insulting, and that they're capitalizing on all the worst traits of the 80s.
Yeah, well, but it happened.
It did happen.
And he'll do an interview and he'll ask these bands about this shit. He'll ask Def Leppard about the fucking under the stage blowjobs and whatnot. He will. I mean, he won't go into graphic detail about it, but he'll ask him about the debauchery and shit that was going on in the 80s. But not Steel Panther making fun of it. That's what I don't get.
Yeah. You're being disrespectful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're denigrating what I hold with high esteem here.
Well, what he controls.
Yeah, more or less.
Because he controls that whole scene, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I would think so.
He said he drunk.
That's true.
And yuck it up. That's great for some morning radio show to do, but not for me. I mean, everybody knows I know this stuff, and it's what I make my living.
All right, so that's just morning radio shtick.
That's right, pal.
Yeah, I don't do the honking horns and the meep meep and all that kind of stuff. I'm serious here.
Yeah, pal.
This is a serious music radio show. There's no room for levity here.
That's right.
I'm totally against that.
Yeah, don't have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun and be entertained.
Right. This is serious business, sex and violence and rock and roll.
That's right, pal. Don't you dare even smile while you listen to your UFO records with me.
Yeah, and wipe that smirk off your face.
This isn't a morning zoo. This is Eddie fucking Trunk.
Right. They can come on here anytime because according to Michael Butler, this is the worst morning zoo crap on the radio.
That's right. Bunch of dinosaurs over here.
We are.
So I'm not going to go down that road. When the day comes, they want to talk as the real people in an interview. I'd love to do it.
Eddie, I'm sure that you can arrange that.
I'm sure he can't. See, I disagree with you.
You don't think they would say no?
I think they'd say no. It benefits them none.
Their
whole shtick right now works because they stay in character.
Okay, I get it, but my point is you don't think any of them would interview with him as the men behind the mask?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm just
absolutely. I think, truthfully, I think you'd have trouble with Ralph.
Even me?
Yep.
Really?
Right now, certainly. Dude, they're at the crest of what they're doing. And the way that they stay at the crest of what they're doing is by continually staying in character. You know, I think right now they're not going to come out of character for anything.
Yeah. Well, the last time we had Ralph on, he called us from the car.
Yeah, but that was before they were big.
Well, you know, that was 2 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was longer than that.
It might have been. I can't remember.
I think it was before I came back.
To be honest with you, I don't remember.
I think it's been like 5, 6, dude.
Oh, it hasn't been that long.
I think it has.
All right. Well, let's go. We got about 2.5 minutes of this left.
All right.
I invited Satchel to come play guitar on that metal show. He wasn't able to do it or didn't do it. But to sit and talk to those guys like, you know, they're this groundbreaking future of heavy metal band is absurd to me. I just can't.
Who said that? Who said that they were groundbreaking future of heavy metal?
Maybe they do.
Where did that even come from? I don't think anybody thinks that. Do you?
I mean, they say that jokingly on the stage. It's part of the joke.
Groundbreaking.
Oh, that's part of the joke, that they're the biggest band in the world and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, of course it is.
But it's part of the joke.
Okay.
He's on a show with fucking 2 comedians. Right?
You would think he would get that.
Well, and he's going to explain that in a minute, too.
All right.
Or he's not going to explain it, but he's going to reference them as comical.
Okay.
That. And I don't feel that way. I mean, I feel that they're a fun band having a spoof, but it's a joke. And there is a segment of their fan base that aren't in on the joke, which is hysterical in and of itself.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Everyone's in on the joke.
I don't believe there's somebody out there thinking that Steel Panther is an original band and that this whole shtick that they do is all original.
Nobody's listening to this stuff going, you know what? That band that sings about sucking cock and glory holes and fucking 80-year-old women, that's some legitimate music. Nobody's thinking that.
Not even the young, unwashed audience in their late teens or early 20s. They're thinking, oh, my God, that's hysterical.
No one is thinking that.
All right. Who is I would like to meet the person who actually thinks that.
Yeah, who called him and said, let's talk about that Steel Panther serious band.
Yeah, okay.
Look no further for proof that they are a joke than the fact that their albums are on the comedy charts. Their albums are on the comedy charts. It's a joke.
Hold on. So if their albums are on the comedy charts, why do you have to not interview them as comedic?
Right.
That's what they do. He's admitting that he knows that. He's saying point blank, he knows that because their albums are on the comedy charts. Well, if that is the case, then why would you want to interview them not as comedians? Right?
I would agree. That's what they do.
Yeah, and he's got two fucking funny guys. Well, one in Don Jamieson. You know, he's got a funny guy and a guy that claims to be funny
right
on his show with him. So what's the problem? Actually, Jameson's a nice guy. I shouldn't bust him. We haven't played that game in so long.
No, it's been a while. I actually have it right here on the desktop, though.
We might have to play some Is Don Jamieson Funny tonight.
Yeah.
So people that run around saying they're the next great metal band, that's ridiculous to me.
Who is saying that?
I don't know who's saying that.
I would like to know where he's met people or references that anybody thinks that.
I've never heard that said.
I have never seen anybody in the media on Blabbermouth on comment, where people can comment where, man, Steel Panther's the shit. They're the real deal. They're the up and coming future of metal. I've never seen that.
Sure. Now I have friends that love Steel Panther, and I have friends that have Steel Panther as their favorite band out right now. But none of them are claiming them as the greatest band of all time.
Or some kind of an original future of heavy metal.
No, they all get the joke.
Yeah, they know it's a goof and it's just a funny, goofy, whatever.
That's it.
Okay.
That's like saying Spinal Tap was the next great metal band. And the last thing I'll say about it is ultimately, bands that do parody, bands that have a spoof, whatever the case may be, whatever the gimmick is, eventually that runs its course. And they have to decide whether they want to go the real route or pack it in.
No, they don't. They can
just ask Weird Al.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course that stuff runs its course.
Yeah.
And then they just stop doing it.
That's right.
And because they are accomplished musicians in their own right, they'll go off and do other things. They'll do session work. They'll join another band. They'll, whatever the case may be. But as long as they can ride that tide and make a decent amount of cash, they're going to do it.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
I don't know the answer. Why wouldn't they do that? Especially since they're being asked to be on big festivals and, be opening acts for our, headliners and things like that. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and if and when it does run its course and it gets old and tired and it's, people stop showing up or they just don't think it's funny anymore or they stop buying the CDs or whatever the case may be, they'll just stop doing it.
Right.
And they'll just go off and do their other gigs.
Yeah, I doubt very highly that, and this is from knowing those guys a little bit, I doubt very seriously that they're going to go and, do an original album.
No, they're not going to, they're not all of a sudden going to become serious and go, oh, well, we're Steel Panther, the serious band now.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
No, that's what they built their reputation on, as being a spoof.
Yeah, so they'll go off and do something else.
Yep. Maybe not as a band or as an entity, but they've got other outlets, I guarantee you.
Of course.
Steel Panther is certainly talented enough that they could make a great real record. And I'm not saying what
they have. They have original music.
Yeah, it's all original music.
They're not doing covers. They're not doing tribute albums. They are actually making real records, even though the content is goofy.
Do you think he just doesn't like the blatant sexism or something?
I just don't think. I think that he finds what they do as being disrespectful to, artists that maybe he is a fan of.
I get the vibe that he feels like Steel Panther is beneath him.
Yeah, I do too. I really do.
That's my vibe. Now, obviously he could dispute that all he wants, but that's just the vibe that he gives with this, is that he feels like it's beneath him.
And there might be some truth to that.
Now is not real. They're clearly can play their instruments and all that. I'm just saying, dropping the act, dropping the parody, and coming out as, dropping the song parodies. I'm sure the caller was saying their song, "If You Really Love Me." The chorus, I'm taking a guess here, I don't know, but the chorus is probably something, "If you really love me, then blow me," or something.
Okay. So, all right, and
some people find that funny.
Yeah, it's hysterical. Well, they should have said, if you really loved me, you wouldn't leave me, not you would blow me, because that's degrading.
Now you're getting it.
Yeah. If you really loved me, you wouldn't walk out that door. No. If you really loved me, you'd drop to your knees and bob my knob.
Right.
I don't like that. It's distasteful. I've got children. Married. I got children.
That's right.
Can't have them doing that. I can't play that CD in the car and say, "Hey, kids, here's one of my favorite new bands, Steel Panther." I can't share that with them. It's not a family experience.
That's right.
Find that degrading. Mm-hmm. It's disgusting. So fuck them guys. I hate them for what they've done.
Right.
But if they made songs that were just more, to drop the whole parody act and wrote real songs that weren't a goof or whatever, they could maybe make a great record.
Yeah, perhaps, but then nobody would want to come see them.
Yeah, that band would have been looked at. If they would have done that from the start, we'd never know their name.
Exactly, because there are other bands out there, and this is not picking on anybody, but our good friends Mad Margaret.
Yeah.
They do that kind of music. Mm-hmm. But they're not getting asked to open up for Priest, and they're not asked to play at Walk-In, and they're not asked to play at Download, and they're not asked to, play some of these big festivals. They get asked because they're funny and they're goofy and they're unique and different, and nobody else is doing that right now.
Right, exactly.
So if they drop the parody, then
you know who they are if they drop the parody? Crash Diet.
Perhaps.
That's who they are.
Yeah.
And if I went to a Motley Crue show and said I was handing out free Crash Diet CDs, how many people would be interested?
Nobody.
No one.
Yeah. But
that's the point.
Yeah. Steel Panther is who they are is because of the parody. It's not because they're great musicians and they could record a quote unquote legitimate record.
Right.
They have recorded legitimate records. It just contains material that you might find objectionable.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if his good friend Jim Brewer is not really a comedian, because Jim does comedy about songs.
Yeah, he does AC/DC. So
does that make him not as good of a comic? Because he's using the parody of AC/DC? Or does that make that the funniest fucking bit that Jim Brewer does?
Yeah, because he's known as a comic first, goofing on musicians. But see, Steel Panther disguises them as musicians doing parody.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work. That's not right.
It's somehow different.
Because it's fooling people to think that they're a real band.
Yeah, although I'm yet to meet that person.
But I think the thing that Eddie is having a problem with here is that they're perpetuating a lie.
I think what Eddie has a problem with is that they've blown past all the other bands that he actually does like and support.
Yeah, it's just like these guys are being asked to be on big package tours or big festivals, but bands like UFO or, who else is one of his other big... Ace Frehley. He's not being asked to do the same caliber or same level stuff. And these guys are a joke band, but these real musicians, they're not getting that opportunity.
Yeah, Winery Dogs.
And it's just not right.
Yeah, that's another one of his.
Yeah, there you go.
Dogs.
Yeah, Winery Dogs is a quality band with top musicians from proven bands, and they're not getting asked to play these big, gigs. And this joke band, somehow they're blowing past them.
That's right.
And that upsets me.
It does. My personal friend Mike Portnoy should be playing these gigs, but instead it's these jokers.
Yeah, and I think you're right about that. I think that is a problem for him.
That's my vibe. And again, we could be dead wrong, but that's the way I'm hearing it.
And I think I'm in full agreement with that.
Yeah. So,
Looking for the ultimate home for hard rock and heavy metal 24 hours a day? Then lock into CMS Radio at cmsradio.net. Choose from 2 killer channels. CMS 24/7 features classic episodes from the history of the Classic Metal Show, plus a daily rebroadcast of the latest CMS episode with music every day at noon Eastern. Or crank up CMS Rocks, your non-stop hard rock and metal station, featuring Charlie Kendall's Metal Shop every Monday at 7 a.m., 10 a.m., and 6 p.m. Eastern. Whether you're on your phone, tablet, or computer, the soundtrack to your day is waiting. CMS Radio. Loud, heavy, unfiltered. Tune in now at cmsradio.net.
Very interesting.
All right.
Think that at some point that day is going to come. Every band eventually has to make that decision.
They do?
Because
why does every band have to make that decision?
When's Weird Al going to make that decision?
Yeah, when is he going to become a serious artist?
He's been fucking doing joke records since 81.
Yeah.
It's working for him.
Yeah, sure. And he still sells out theaters.
Yeah, what about Richard Cheese? All right, never mind. Yeah, but that guy makes joke records. I mean, seriously, and not that he's big or anything, but he has a career that, the guy that takes the metal songs and turns them into lounge songs.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been doing that for 15, 20 years, right?
Or that guy, I don't know if he's done like performances or, how big he was on a performance circus, but one of the guys who started that way back in, I think in the 70s was Dr. Demento.
Yeah, Dr. Demento.
Yeah.
John Volpe.
Yeah.
John Volpe sings, silly limericks and whatever with a piano. That's what he does.
Sure.
There's a lot of these guys that do this stuff. Fuck Pat Boone.
Yep.
Pat Boone, everybody knows that was a goof, but it was probably his best-selling record.
In the metal mood.
Yeah. Don't you think that was his best-selling record?
Doing some Guns N' Roses, Paradise City.
There's a good one right there, Beatallica.
True. They do a mashup.
Yeah. They're just a mashup band. Are they a fake?
They're not serious.
Yeah, they're not. But of all those bands, Steel Panther's the biggest.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking Eddie is just not feeling it, I guess.
I guess. Well, whatever. Okay, here we go. Just 30 seconds more of this.
All right.
Its course after a while. So I hope they do, and I'd be curious to see what they do. But for what they do now, it is what it is. It's parody. It is what it is. I'm not getting excited about it. If I'm going to play new music, I want to play like something I just played, which is incredible, great new, hard rock music that's legitimate, if you will.
Why is Steel Panther's original compositions not legitimate?
Because they tell jokes.
Okay, but it's legitimate because it's original material.
I would love to ask Eddie if he finds songs like She Goes Down by Motley Crue if that's legitimate or if that's them dipping into Steel Panther territory.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know, or lyrics, you know, Motley Crue's one that you could just pick lyrics apart all the time. You know, what was the song? Raise your hand to rock. You know, where they slide down my knees, taste my sword.
Right.
You know,
right.
You know, is that not good? Because it was talking about, you know, a chick sucking your dick.
Well, it wasn't blatant.
Slide down my knees, taste my sword.
Yeah, but it didn't say taste my cock.
Oh.
You see, it was innuendo.
So that makes it okay.
Yeah, because there was something hidden there. You had to interpret it.
Okay.
So
I didn't understand.
You know, so if Steel Panther sings "Get down on your knees and suck my cock," as opposed to Motley Crue "Get down on your knees and taste my sword," you have to interpret that.
How fucking stupid is this argument?
but that's true, though.
I guess
that's the truth.
I don't know that I agree at all. I think they're both being silly.
I do too, but one says it blatantly, flat out, what they're really meaning, and the other one you have to sort of, imagine it. I guess I don't know. It's stupid. It's a stupid argument.
I guess.
All right, here we go.
This is, parody stuff. It's just, I was never into Weird Al. I loved the movie Spinal Tap, but I never bought and played the records. It was a joke. So it's the same thing for me.
All right.
Thanks
Ed.
for the.
All right, Eddie.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know, Eddie. I think you're sort of taking this a little bit too seriously.
That's right.
It's not a serious subject.
No. Well, just make sure that when you're sending out your tweets tomorrow that you tag this one to Satchel.
I will. I definitely will. Absolutely.
Good Lord. Ed has lost it.
Yeah. I give props to Satchel or Russ for getting in through the show.
Sure.
And baiting him like that.
I think it's fantastic.
I think that's hysterical that he did that.
But that goes back to what I was saying before. Playing the game.
Yeah.
He's doing what the character would do.
Sure.
That's perfect.
Well, the funny thing is that Satchel or Russ called in as a normal dude.
Right.
So in some regard, Eddie got to talk to him without being in character.
That's right.
So
he wants to do it again.
But he sort of got his wish in a way.
You think now Steel Panther will be ultimately banned because they goofed on Eddie?
And then got through and made him look goofy.
Made him look like a douche.
You think he'll ever mention that? Well, you got one over on me. That guy that called was actually Satchel,
No. I mean, he might if he comes back on and we talk to him.
Yeah.
That'll be about the only time.
He spoofed me, but I fell for it.
Yeah, I don't see him admitting that at all.
I would if that happened to me.
Yeah, but me and you don't give a shit about,
that's true.
What people think.
True.
We're not building our reputation on being, the serious man of metal.
Right.
He's definitely the face of heavy metal.
I guess.
Don't you think?
Well, he likes to think that.
I think most people would think that too.
I don't think that.
I definitely think that.
No, I don't think that. For me, I don't.
Well, I don't think that either. But I think overall, if you asked 100 people, who's the face of heavy metal these days?
Who's the foremost leader of heavy metal, man?
They'd say Eddie Trunk.
Okay.
Or the Rev. I think more would say Eddie Trunk.
Okay. Well, I think in light of this, I think I should play a song.
Yeah.
And I think I should play a Steel Panther song from their latest release, All You Can Eat.
I think you should, and then whatever you play behind it,
I'm going to play
has to come from Big Cock.
Well, I can do that, but I want to play the Doro song too.
All right, play that too.
What is it I'm playing from Doro?
Anything, doesn't matter.
Any Doro.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think this next song that I'm going to play from Steel Panther's latest release, I think this is very appropriate for Eddie.
Okay.
Because I'm going to dedicate it to Eddie.
All right, great.
Because he is such a big Steel Panther fan, as you can see.
Obviously.
And I think this would be very appropriate with the attitude. This is called If I Was the King.
Nice.
So here's Steel Panther from All You Can Eat. If I Was the King, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Want to watch the Classic Metal Show on your big screen instead of your phone or computer? Now you can with the Rumble app. The Rumble app is available on most smart TVs and streaming devices. Just download the app, open it, and search for Classic Metal Show. You'll instantly get access to all the latest episodes on demand. Plus, catch the entire live broadcast every Saturday night and watch exclusive live-streamed events as they happen. Download the Rumble app today, search for Classic Metal Show, and subscribe now. The Classic Metal Show. Metal. Talk. Streaming live and on demand.